The Steelers trade news and rumors keep on rolling, as a prominent insider reported that Pittsburgh has been in negotiations with teams in hopes of adding more threats on offense. According to insider Jordan Schultz, the Steelers want to acquire a talented pass catcher to pair with WR1 DK Metcalf, and have been in contact with multiple NFL teams in hopes of making it a reality, per multiple sources. He also claimed there is confidence in the Steel City that it's a matter of when, not if. Pittsburgh is believed to be motivated to get a deal done at some point, though there's still plenty of time before the season. Insider Adam Schefter also reported that the Steelers and Dolphins held trade talks regarding Pro Bowl TE Jonnu Smith. There are a plethora of trade targets the Steelers could pursue, such as Jets WR Allen Lazard, Saints WR Chris Olave, Dolphins WR Tyreek Hill, or Packers WR Romeo Doubs. But it remains to be seen which players Schultz was referencing. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, this offseason has become one of the most active and speculative periods in recent franchise memory. The team has already made headlines with their acquisition of star wide receiver DK Metcalf, a move that signaled a significant philosophical shift toward becoming a more aggressive, offensively driven organization. But one move isn't enough to fix what has been a recurring weakness for the franchise over the past few seasons, a lack of consistent, dynamic playmakers in the passing game. Metcalf provides the alpha presence they've long lacked, but depth and variety in the receiving core remain major concerns. The Steelers' interest in adding another prominent pass catcher to line up opposite Metcalf isn't just about firepower, it's about balance, matchup creation, and providing whoever starts at quarterback with a complete arsenal. Pittsburgh has struggled in recent years with spacing and separation. Defenses often keyed in on one primary threat and forced the quarterback into tight windows and check downs. Metcalf, with his size and speed, can take the top off defenses, but that won't matter much if defenses know they can double him without consequence. Bringing in a player like Jonnu Smith, as reported in the trade discussions with the Dolphins, would add a new dimension to the Steelers' offense. Smith is more than just a tight end, he's a versatile, athletic hybrid who can line up as an H-back, flexed out wide, or in the slot. In Arthur Smith's offense, which heavily utilizes play action and misdirection, a tight end with Smith's skill set could be a game-changer. He offers yards after catch ability, toughness over the middle, and matchup advantages against linebackers and safeties. While Pat Freiermuth is still a foundational piece at the position, pairing him with another tight end like Smith could open up numerous 2TE sets, allowing Pittsburgh to disguise their intentions and diversify their route concepts. Beyond tight end, wide receiver remains the most obvious area of need. George Pickens' departure, a talented player whose off-field demeanor ultimately strained his relationship with the coaching staff, left a hole that hasn't been fully addressed. Robert Woods was brought in to provide a veteran presence, and Calvin Austin III continues to develop as a speedy slot option, but neither represents a consistent number 2 threat capable of commanding attention from opposing defenses. The Steelers' offense, especially with a new coordinator and uncertainty at quarterback, needs more than just potential, it needs proven productivity. Enter the wide receiver market, which appears to be more open than usual this late in the offseason. Several teams are reportedly willing to listen to offers, either due to cap concerns, depth chart congestion, or a shift in offensive philosophy. Among the rumored targets, Jets wideout Allen Lazard stands out as a physically imposing target with familiarity playing alongside elite quarterbacks. Though his stint in New York has been up and down, much of that can be attributed to quarterback inconsistency and scheme limitations. In Pittsburgh, Lazard could serve as a reliable possession receiver, red zone threat, and blocker on the edge, all traits that align with what the Steelers need as a complement to Metcalf. Another name that continues to generate buzz is Saints receiver Chris Olave. A true technician with route-running precision and strong hands, Olave could be the ideal number 2 to Metcalf's power-forward style. However, sources indicate that New Orleans has shown little willingness to part with their young star, especially as they navigate their own rebuilding process. Olave still has a high ceiling and remains on a team-friendly contract, making him more valuable to New Orleans than he might be on the open market. That said, if Pittsburgh were to make an aggressive offer, including early draft capital or a player with upside, the Saints might at least be tempted to engage. Tyreek Hill's name being mentioned is more likely speculation than reality. The Dolphins remain committed to their high-speed offense, and Hill is arguably the most explosive weapon in the league. Even with the Steelers showing interest, Miami would likely demand a king's ransom for their all-pro receiver, a price Pittsburgh may be unwilling to meet. Still, the fact that Hill's name is even floating in rumors suggests that the Steelers are leaving no stone unturned. They are casting a wide net, and their desire to bring in a true game-changer is not just talk. Then there's Romeo Dew, a player the Steelers have reportedly monitored for months. Dew is entering the final year of his rookie contract and has had flashes of brilliance in Green Bay. While not a household name, Dew is exactly the kind of under-the-radar acquisition Pittsburgh has made in the past: high potential, low cost, and a chip on his shoulder. He would fit seamlessly into the current receiver room, bringing youth and explosiveness without the ego or contract baggage of some bigger names. If the Packers are willing to move him for a mid-round pick, it's a deal the Steelers could pull off without sacrificing future flexibility. What makes this pursuit even more urgent is the uncertainty surrounding the quarterback position. Aaron Rodgers remains the top target, but as the days go by and Rodgers remains silent, Pittsburgh is left waiting, and perhaps worrying. The longer the Rodgers saga drags on, the harder it becomes to construct the rest of the offense. The Steelers must build a unit that can function with or without the future Hall of Famer. That means stacking the roster with versatile weapons who can thrive in multiple quarterback scenarios, be it Rodgers, Jameis Winston, Will Levis, or someone else entirely. Sources within the organization have hinted that Omar Khan and Mike Tomlin are aligned in their thinking. This team must be competitive now, not in 2 or 3 years. The Steelers' defense is championship caliber, and wasting another year of T.J. Watt's prime is not an option. They believe that with the right supporting cast on offense, they can not only return to the playoffs but make a serious push for a Super Bowl. That's why these trade talks aren't just background noise, they are part of a deliberate and focused effort to load up for 2025. It's worth noting that the Steelers aren't usually a team that makes splashy moves or engages in high-profile trade rumors. Their history is one of draft and develop, of quiet consistency and internal growth. But this new front office, under Khan's leadership, appears more willing to swing big. The Metcalf trade was proof of that. And now, with additional firepower potentially on the horizon, the Steelers are signaling to the rest of the league that they aren't content with simply making the playoffs, they want to contend. Whether the next move is for a wide receiver, a tight end, or both, one thing is clear: Pittsburgh isn't done. They are working the phones, evaluating every possibility, and refusing to settle. With the AFC as competitive as ever, and divisional rivals like Baltimore and Cincinnati reloading as well, standing pat would be the equivalent of surrender. The Steelers are pushing forward. And fans in the Steel City should be excited. Because this isn't the same conservative Pittsburgh front office we've seen in years past. This is a franchise that sees a window, and is doing everything it can to burst through it. And the question is no longer whether the Steelers will make another move. It's when.